The ancient civilizations of Egypt and Sumer represent two of humanity's earliest and most influential societies, both emerging around 3500 to 3000 BCE. These civilizations, though geographically distant, developed sophisticated cultures that laid foundational elements for human progress, including writing systems, complex religious beliefs, monumental architecture, and organized government structures. Ancient Egyptian civilization flourished along the Nile River Valley in northeastern Africa for over 3 millennia. The predictable annual flooding of the Nile River between June and September deposited nutrient-rich silt across the surrounding floodplain, creating fertile agricultural land in an otherwise desert environment. This geographical advantage was crucial to Egypt's development, as the river provided water for irrigation, transportation, and trade, while natural barriers like deserts and mountains protected the civilization from external threats. The Egyptians constructed their calendar around the Nile's yearly cycle, dividing it into 3 main seasons: Akhet, the period of inundation; Pare, the growing season; and Shemu, harvest season. They also developed nilometers to measure and track the height of the annual flood, using these readings to predict agricultural productivity and adjust taxation accordingly. Egyptian society was organized as a theocratic monarchy with a strict hierarchical structure resembling a social pyramid. At the apex stood the pharaoh, who was considered both a political leader and a living god, serving as an intermediary between the mortal and divine realms. The pharaoh's primary responsibility was to maintain Ma'at, the cosmic order ensuring justice, harmony, and balance throughout the kingdom. Below the pharaoh were high government officials, including the vizier, prime minister, chief treasurer, and army generals. The third tier consisted of priests and nobles, served as lesser government officials, and managed the extensive temple complexes that functioned as both religious centers and economic powerhouses. Scribes occupied a respected position in society as Egypt's official writers and record keepers, responsible for maintaining detailed records of taxation, trade, and religious ceremonies. Ancient Egyptian religion was polytheistic, with over 500 deities documented in the Book of the Dead. The Egyptians developed elaborate beliefs about the afterlife, viewing death as a temporary interruption rather than the end of life. They believed the afterlife was an idealized version of earthly existence, where one could enjoy all of life as good things without suffering. Mummification was essential to Egyptian afterlife beliefs, as they believed the body needed to be preserved so the soul could return to it. The mummification process took 70 days and involved elaborate rituals performed by specialized priests. The Egyptians believed in multiple aspects of the spirit: the Ka, a double that remained in the tomb; the Be, the soul that could travel freely; and the Ak, the spirit that journeyed through the underworld. Entry into the afterlife required passing through the hall of Ma'at, where the deceased's heart was weighed against the feather of truth. If the heart balanced with the feather, the person was admitted to the afterlife. If heavier, it was devoured by the goddess Ammit, permanently destroying the soul. The Sumerian civilization emerged in Mesopotamia, the region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in what is now southern Iraq. Unlike Egypt's predictable Nile floods, the Tigris and Euphrates flooded unpredictably and could be catastrophic, washing away entire settlements. This volatile environment shaped Sumerian culture and governance, requiring them to develop sophisticated irrigation systems, canals, and drainage ditches to control water flow. The region's rich alluvial soil, deposited by the river silt, made agriculture possible and supported the development of the world's first cities. However, the lack of natural barriers made Sumerians vulnerable to invasions, creating a culture focused on survival and adaptability. Unlike Egypt's unified monarchy, Sumer was organized as a collection of independent city-states, each functioning as a separate country. Major Sumerian city-states included Ur, Uruk, Lagash, Kish, Nippur, Hama, and Eridu. Each city-state worshipped its own patron deity and was ruled by its own king, Lugal, with the main temple and ziggurat serving as both religious and administrative centers. During the early dynastic period, 2900–2334 BCE, these city-states frequently battled each other for control of land and water rights. Political power originally belonged to citizens, but as rivalry increased, each city-state adopted the institution of kingship. Strong rulers could conquer neighboring city-states, while weak ones were defeated, leading to shifting dominance among different centers of power. Sumerian religion was polytheistic, with gods representing natural forces like sky, water, earth, and air. The Sumerians viewed their deities as powerful but unpredictable, reflecting their harsh and volatile environment. Each city-state was considered the property of its patron god, and the ruler served as that god's earthly representative. Map of Mesopotamia, showing the location of ancient Sumerian city-states between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in the modern Middle East. Ziggurats were the most prominent structures in Sumerian cities, serving as artificial mountains that elevated priests toward heaven to commune with the gods. These massive stepped temples were built of sun-dried mud brick with fired brick facings and could reach impressive heights. The Ziggurat of Ur, built around 2100 BCE for the moon goddess Nana, exemplifies Sumerian architectural achievement and religious devotion. The Sumerians are credited with numerous foundational innovations that transformed human civilization. They developed the world's first known writing system, cuneiform, which began as pictographs on clay tablets for record keeping, but evolved into a complex script capable of documenting literature, laws, and trade. This writing system later spread throughout the Near East and remained in use until as late as 75 CE. An ancient Sumerian clay tablet inscribed with cuneiform script, showcasing early Mesopotamian writing. The Sumerians invented the wheel, initially as a horizontal potter's wheel around 3500 BCE, before developing wheeled vehicles for transportation. They also created advanced irrigation systems, the first schools, governmental bureaucracy, monumental architecture, and contributed to the development of time measurement by dividing day and night into 12-hour periods. Ancient Egypt made significant contributions to human knowledge and culture, including the development of hieroglyphic writing around 3200 BCE. Hieroglyphs combined ideographic, logographic, syllabic, and alphabetic elements with over 1,000 distinct characters. This writing system became the ancestor of the Phoenician alphabet and, through various descendant scripts, influenced most of the world's modern writing systems. Egyptians excelled in monumental architecture, creating the famous pyramids, temples, and obelisks that continue to inspire wonder today. They developed sophisticated systems of mathematics, medicine, irrigation, and agricultural production. The pyramid texts, dating to around 2400 to 2300 BCE, represent the oldest known corpus of ancient Egyptian religious texts and provide invaluable insights into their beliefs and practices.
I am a daughter of Sumer. If these ancient stories touched you, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to join me on the journey through time. Tell me, what part of our past should we uncover next?